beautiful friends, and welcome to my channel. I am Lauren Ray and I'm super excited to have you for this class. So this class is all about back to the basics. This is where you should be starting. If you're a beginner, this is a perfect place to start. So I'm going to go through 10 of the first basic yoga poses that you should be learning as a beginner. This is also great for advanced people to refresh as well, because I know myself, I sometimes forget things and we all need a refresher here and there. Now, I would recommend using a mirror for this class. It is always good to be looking at your alignment and making sure that you are where you think you are, because sometimes you might be thinking you're doing something and you're very off, but that's okay. You need to be patient with yourself, patient with your body. Use a mirror, have a look at yourself, have a look at your alignment, feel that alignment once you've gotten it perfect, and practice it, perfect it, and these yoga poses will progress throughout your yoga journey. So without further ado, I'll meet you on your mat. We're going to start in mountain pose, standing at the back of your mat with your toes together and heels slightly apart. Spread your toes and place your weight evenly through both feet. Engage your core and tuck your hips under a bit so your tailbone is pointed down towards the floor. Relax your shoulders, roll them back and down. Inhale and reach your arms up over your head while pressing down into your feet. You may also put your hands in prayer position in front of your chest, or rest them by your side with your palms open to the front. There are a few commonly used variations. Next pose we are going to take is child pose. So from mountain pose, folding forward, hinging at the hips, option to bend your knees, placing your hands onto the earth as you walk your hands out, bringing your knees down to the ground, and go ahead and sit back onto your tailbone, sitting up nice and tall. From this kneeling position on the floor, tailbone driving down into your heels, start to walk your hands out in front of you, heart to earth, in between your legs, palms spread wide, third eye resting on the ground, creating a nice energy line down your spine, pushing down into your tailbone onto your heels, and pushing your arms, hands, and fingers out long into the earth. Child's pose is super calming for the mind. Third eye on the earth with your eyes looking backwards, and the inward fold of the body sends a signal to the brain that you are safe and that it's okay to rest. It's great for your digestive system by bringing your knees closer together, belly resting on your thighs, massaging the internal organs, which may help your digestive along. It elongates the lower back, it opens up your hips. It reminds you that resting is a good thing. A great place to start or end in your practice. Now coming up into box, we're going to take cat-cow. So you're in your box, on your hands and knees, hips squared off to the earth, palms stacked underneath shoulders and rooting down into the ground. Inhale, arching your spine, leading with your heart, opening up your chest by rolling your shoulders up and then back and down. Eyes gaze is soft and upwards. And now you are going to come into cow. Exhale, rounding through the shoulders and the spine, pulling abs in and up with the spine. Chin comes down to chest, tailbone tucks under. Slowly moving between these poses. Inhale for your cat and exhale for your cow. Moving at your own pace, feeling into the poses, into your energy lines, and noticing any sensations you feel in each pose. These poses stretches the back torso and neck and softly stimulates and strengthens the abdominal organs. throughout the spine movement of the two poses, stimulating the kidneys and adrenal glands, warming the body and bringing flexibility to the spine, balancing out the body and developing postural awareness, bringing the spine into correct alignment, helping to prevent back pain when practiced correctly. Great poses for a morning yoga flow and to start your day. Okay, come back to center and we're going to take a downward facing dog. So from box, kneeling on your hands and knees, hands stacked under your shoulders and knees under your hips. Spread your hands wide and press your index finger and thumb into the mat. Tuck your toes under and lift your tailbone and press your bum up and back, drawing your hips towards the sky. Straightening out through your legs as best as you can. It is okay to have a slight bend in your knee if your hamstrings are tight. And press your heels gently towards the ground. Your head is between your arms facing your knees, and you want to create a nice long energy down your spine with a flat back. By opening up your chest, leading with your heart, pushing towards your thighs, shoulders round, down and back, creating space between your shoulders and ears. Deep breaths here. Downward dog is a pose that has many benefits, creating strong hands, wrists, lower back, hamstrings, and calves. It helps decrease back pain by strengthening the entire back and shoulder girdle. It elongates the shoulders and shoulder blades and the clavicle spine and neck, relaxing the head to decrease tension and headaches. It also helps with anxiety while increasing full body circulation. Feel this pose, any sensations, notice your body, notice the positioning, log this into your memory bank. This pose is powerful and used most frequently in all yoga flows. From here we're going to step up into crescent lunge. Starting with the right leg, take a big step forward with your right foot, placing your foot in between your hands, knees stacked over your ankle, back leg is straight and back foot facing forward on the ball of your foot, heel off the ground. Lifting hands off the ground, arms extend towards the sky on either side of your head. Hands come together at the top, keeping your front knee bent parallel to the floor, squaring your hips towards the front, leaning into your hip to feel a nice stretch, creating space in your shoulders by dropping your shoulder blades down and away from your ears, engaging your core muscles by pulling your navel to your spine, lifting up through your chest and your rib cage, creating a long, straight line of energy up your spine, tucking your tailbone under. This pose can be modified by simply tucking the back toe up and coming down onto your knee for a low crescent lunge. Notice this pose, remember how it feels. Staying on this leg, we are going to come into Warrior 2. Staying completely in this pose, and all you are going to do is twist at your torso as you drop your back heel down to the earth and twist it outwards so it's perpendicular to the front foot. Heels are in line with each other. Back side of your back foot gripping the earth, and as you twist open your hip and your arms out to the side, arms are parallel to the floor, palms facing down, head looking forward, chest is high, shoulders down and back, keeping your core engaged by pulling your navel to your spine, tucking your tailbone under, and creating that long line of energy up your spine. Awesome job, friends. Now this is your Warrior 2. And from here we are going to come into triangle. Staying in Warrior 2, straightening your front leg, then reaching forward with your left hand towards the ground. Tilt your torso forward and rotate it open to the right side. Rotate your arm to 6 and 12 o'clock. Rest your left hand on your shin or the floor if you can, and extend your top arm, fingers towards the ceiling. Pushing your hip open by tucking your tailbone and rotating your hips up, keeping your legs straight. Feel into this pose, into your lines that you are creating, Notice any sensations you are feeling. Now I'd like you to change legs so you can feel all these poses on the other side. So slowly release back up to standing, stepping your back leg up to your front foot, and stepping the right leg back to come into crescent lunge on your left side. Remembering you can modify this to low lunge if you need to. Front knee is stacked over the ankle, back leg straight and back heel off the ground, arms extended towards the sky, hands come together at the top, square your hips towards the front, create space in your shoulders by dropping your shoulder blades down and away from your ears, engaging your core muscles by pushing your navel to your spine, lifting up through your chest and your rib cage, creating a long line of energy up your spine, tucking your tailbone under. Crescent lunge stretches the legs, the groin, and hip flexors, while also opening the front torso, chest, and shoulders. It strengthens and tones the thighs, hips, and butt, while the balancing aspect helps to develop flexibility, stability. Crescent lunge helps the front of your body to expand, which increases energy and reduces fatigue. Remembering to feel into each pose, noticing how your body is positioned and how it feels. From our crescent lunge, we are going to come into warrior two, twisting at the torso as you drop the back heel down to the earth and twisting it outwards so it's perpendicular to your front foot. Heels are in line with each other. Back side of the back foot gripping the earth. And as you twist open your hips and open your arms out to the side, parallel, palms facing down, chest high, shoulders down and back, core engaged, lifting up through that chest and rib cage and creating that long line of energy up your spine, tucking your tailbone under. From here, we're going to come into triangle, staying in warrior two, straightening through the front leg, then reach forward with your left hand towards the ground, tilt your torso forward and rotate it open to the right side. Rotate your arms to 6 and 12 o'clock. Rest your left hand on the shin or to the floor if you can, and extend your top arm fingers towards the ceiling. These poses are very common in all yoga flows, especially when you're first starting out. Love these poses, learn from them, and perfect them. From warrior two, we are going to come all the way down to the ground into plank position to perform vinyasana. Step one is plank. Hands come down to the earth, coming down into box, knees under your hips and your hands flat on the floor directly underneath your shoulders. Option to stay on your knees, pushing your hips forward, tucking your tailbone under and engaging your core by pulling it up towards your spine. If you have it in your practice, option to lift your knees off the floor and extend your legs out behind you. Feet up on your toes, tucking tailbone under, core is engaged, creating a nice long line in your body from your shoulders to your toes, from your body forming one line. This is step one. Step two is shut it down Dandasana or low push-up. From plank, either on your toes or knees, you are going to slowly lower your body down towards the ground, pointing your elbows backwards, nice and close to your body, keeping your nice long line. Step three is upward facing dog. From a low push-up, drop your hips down to the floor and flip your toes over so the tops of your feet touch the floor. Tighten your core and strengthen your arms to push your chest up. Pulling your shoulders back, squeeze your shoulder blades and tilt your head towards the ceiling to open your chest. Step 4, downward facing dog. Tuck your toes under and lift your tailbone and press your bum up and back, drawing your hips towards the sky and pushing your chest back towards your thighs as you straighten out through your legs as best as you can. Remember, it's okay to have a slight bend in your knees as you progress through this pose. Press your heels gently towards the ground. Your head is between your arms facing your knees, and you want to create a long line of energy down your spine with a flat back by opening up your chest, shoulders rolled down and back, creating space between your shoulders and ears. And that finishes the sequence of vinyasa. So let's try that again, flowing slowly and smoothly through each pose to create a memory in our mind of this sequence. Step 1, coming into plank, pushing forward, bring shoulders over wrist, tucking tailbone under, option to come down onto knees, engaging core. Step 2, shut down Dandasana, low push-up, bend at the elbows, keeping close to your side and lower down towards the ground. Step 3, drop your hips down to the floor and flip your toes over so the toes of your feet touch the floor. Tighten your core and strengthen your arms to push your chest up, pulling your shoulders back, squeezing your shoulder blades, tilting your head backwards to the ceiling. Step 5, downward facing dog. Tuck your toes under and lift your tailbone and press your bum up and back, drawing your hips towards the sky, and push your chest back towards your thighs as you straighten out through your legs as best as you can. Press your heels gently into the ground. Your head is between your arms, facing your knees, and you want to create a nice long line of energy down your spine with a flat back. By opening your chest, shoulders roll down and back, creating space between your shoulders and ears. Practice this a few times through at your own pace. Step 1, plank. Step 2, low push-up. Step 3, up dog. Step 4, down dog. Step 1, plank. Step 2, low push-up. Step 3, up dog. Step 4, down dog. When you are ready, we are going to come back to the ground to finish off in the most important pose, Savasana. Lie flat on your back, legs separated apart, feet rolled outwards, arms are at your side and your palms are facing up. Close your eyes and breathe deeply and slowly through your nostrils. Start concentrating from your head to your feet, noticing the rise and fall of your breath. And with each inhale and exhale, relax deeper into this pose, feeling your body relaxing into the earth, focusing on your breath, letting go of anything that isn't serving you in this present moment. And just allow yourself this time to fully deepen into relaxation, clearing your mind by focusing on your breath and any sensations you are feeling in your body, arriving here and now. Savasana is the final resting pose at the end of almost every yoga practice, to be in stillness and silence with ourselves. This is the practice of finding peace and harmony in this stillness, to observe any thoughts and feelings that might arise without judgment of good or bad, just noticing. Savasana is the essence of yoga. Yoga is the practice of mindfulness and living in the present moment. Throughout your practice, we are continually focusing on your breath. Through each movement, this is your movement yoga, moving energy throughout your body while focusing on your breath. Savasana is the practice of yoga without movement. Please stay here in Savasana as long as time allows you. And when you're ready to come back up into sitting position, bringing your knees to your chest and leaning over to one side, propping yourself up and crossing your legs. Inhale, raise your arms up high. Exhale, bring your hands together. Sending you lots of love and light from my heart to yours. Namaste. Well, my friends, I really hope that you enjoyed that back to the basics yoga poses. Those are the top 10 beginner poses that you should be focusing on to build that solid foundation so you can progress through your yoga journey. Now, if you did like this class, please give a thumbs up, comment below, and remember to subscribe because it really does support me. Now, going off today's class, I'm going to put together a beginner back to the basics yoga flow, intertwining all of these poses in next week's class. So I hope to see you then. See you soon.